Welcome everyone to my channel. In my previous video, I talked about spirituality versus religion. What are the major differences there? How they are linked? And how spirituality is more helpful than religion. So today I'll be talking about spirituality and unconditional self-love. So what really spirituality says is to look inwards, to know yourself, as we are all spiritual beings. All gods were spiritual beings just like us. But what they did was they mastered the laws of spirituality. And that's how they were able to control everything. And that's how they had a lot of power to kind of like change their physical reality according to what they were. But in today's world, right, what happens is majority of the people, they kind of look on their physical reality rather than looking inwards. Why? Because they don't take accountability of that. And then in spiritual laws, it says what goes around is what comes around. It's a law of sciences as well. To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And we don't follow that, right? So pretty much majority of the people. And we don't even try to come up to a level of a higher vibration wherein we carry that peace and love within us for ourselves, as that reflects us. That is reflected outwards as well. That's the best outcome that you can achieve by following spirituality. So spirituality and unconditional self-love, they are totally linked with each other, because spirituality talks about unconditional self-love all the time. So let's say you are going through certain challenges in your life, right? Are you going to be giving out about that? Or are you going to be accepting the situation the way that is? So I will talk about now certain aspects of how unconditional self-love is so much a part of spirituality. Before that, I quickly want to introduce myself for the people who are seeing me for the first time on this channel. My name is Sunny. I'm a spiritual coach and a meditation teacher. And I teach true power of silence, which is dhyana in Sanskrit. That is a type of meditation that allows you to not just to heal from your past wounds, but also become the most authentic version of yourself. So let's deep dive into the different aspects of it, right? Spirituality and unconditional love. So spirituality is basically, if you believe in God or probably the universe, it doesn't really matter. Spirituality doesn't need you to be religious at all. Right? These are laws. These are laws of sciences. Let me put that straight. Okay. So spirituality says, or probably I would say spirituality is a tool used by the God or the universe to rectify our souls. Okay. But if we do not rectify our souls from both body, mind, and emotions point of view, soul is emotions, then we keep getting the same kind of results. So really and truly, we are on a training ground here on this planet, okay? And the universe, or the creator, or the God, They use this tool to test us all the time, whether we have learned our lessons or not. Yeah. If we have learned our lessons and we grow from there, we jump on to the next level. It's just like uh, a PlayStation game, right? You start with the lowest level first, and then you move on to the next level. You kill the main man or the main enemy there, right? And that's how you progress in a game. Okay, yeah, spirituality is something like that, and and the entity that is controlling it could be the universe, God, whatever you believe in, because it's pure sciences, right? They created all the religions on the basis of that, because that's why it's mentioned in the Bible that if you have if you believe that kingdom of heaven is in you and you accept it and you work on that, then rest follows, right? So to become better in spirituality, it teaches you the power of forgiveness, acceptance, compassion, kindness, peace, patience, non-judgmental, abundance, self-worth, self-respect. And if we do not follow any of these principles here that I talked about, what happens is the universe or the God keeps giving us those kind of situations, different situations, wherein we are tested again to, make sure that we have learned our lessons, right? So I can give you a lot of examples from my personal life. I used to go to the bars, right, all the time during the weekends. And the kind of people that I used to attract were highly negative. Although, I was always talking about positive, and I was wondering, why am I attracting a lot of negative people around me all the time? But there were so many subconscious thoughts and emotions in me in regards to different sorts of people that I had to work upon. So let's say, I used to say, oh, this person is bad, that person is bad, right? I'll blame people. I'll blame my ex and all that kind of stuff. And those energies were still within me. Those emotions were still sitting in my subconscious. And I was attracting subconsciously those kind of people all the time. They would then come and disrespect me the way probably, in my past, a lot of people disrespected me. And that loop never broke. So this is one of the examples that I would say. Now, the other example could be you would have seen, right? If a person has gone through a divorce, that person would be keep blaming, his or her ex. Oh, she was this or he was that, and blah, blah, blah. And marriages are bullshit and all that kind of stuff. And they keep attracting the same kind of toxic people all the time in their relationships, and then they give up, because then they create a mindset and create a sense of emotions in themselves that nowadays marriage is a curse. Okay. Although as I healed myself, I was able to generate a lot of love and compassion within me. That's the biggest sign. Compassion is the biggest sign that you get when you get healed, right? And I removed all those limited belief systems in terms of whether, marriage is this or that. I want to get married. I want to have my family. I want to have kids. What's wrong with that? But I will surrender it to God, to the universe. Whenever the true divine alignment would happen, that person would appear in front of me. It's as simple as that. But you gotta work on yourself all the time. So the universe will keep testing. Coming back to that, we'll keep testing you in different sort of situation, will keep giving you different sort of tests. So how I deal with that is, let's say if I see any challenge or any bad news or anything of that sort, then I just say, what a training ground that you have given me, God, or the universe. I'll work on that as well. I keep saying that to me internally. Right? I'll work on that as well. What a gift. There should be some kind of something associated with that I haven't seen so far. But what we do usually is, in case if somebody is not aware about his or her consciousness or subconscious thoughts, that person will start blaming. Why the hell is this happening with me? And then they will start playing the victim card and all that kind of stuff, right? And that actually goes against the law of spirituality, or AKA unconditional self-love. Because you're not showing yourself peace or compassion, despite of the fact that you are going through some kind of issues in your life. I can completely understand some problems in our lives would be, mind-boggling, would shatter us completely. It happens. I'm still going through certain things like that in my life. But I have to give myself peace and compassion. And I do not want to operate on lower vibrations at all. So considering all those, problems we are going through them at the moment, and they kind of like break you, they dishearten you, they completely try to demolish you, you just gotta take a deep breath. And the moment the thoughts start coming in, see, whatever thoughts that we get, it's all created by our mind, and our mind is our ego. If we understand and master this, we'll be able to easily dodge. I'm saying dodge, not stop, because thoughts can never be stopped. Dodge those thoughts. And then if we show ourselves peace and compassion, then we get the, sense of calmness during the storm, during any given storm in your life. Okay. So all those thoughts and emotions are sitting in your subconscious. Okay. And what happens is, in majority of the people today, if you start thinking about something, those thoughts never stop, or those emotions never stop, because we get carried away and we don't show any compassion, any peace to us, and then we get worried and all that kind of stuff. I can understand that because I've gone through that already. The way we can really and truly let those thoughts come out and also accept those thoughts the way they are, what will happen eventually is those thoughts would get diluted, will be slowed down, and then the pattern, and then you will be able to easily come over those kind of situations and maintain your peace and love for yourself all the time. So that is the reason I teach meditation, which is a true power of silence, called as dhyana, which not only calms you, but also helps you to reprogram your mind and, your subconscious mind and subconscious emotions. Because it's easy to say affirmations all the time, right? That's what you have seen so far, all, on the televisions, and all the motivational speakers will be talking about that. Oh, just say the affirmations. I've got a lot of money. I am rich, and all the kind of stuff. That trains your subconscious thoughts, right? How about subconscious emotions? Emotions are the biggest enemy of human beings. And they should only be used when they're really required. It's as simple as that. I can understand. I can give an example again quickly about my mother. She's highly emotional, highly, highly emotional. And she will get carried away with certain things. She'll get worried and she's not able to control her emotions. And then, then things will go haywire in terms of the conversation. But how I look at her is I accept her the way she is, and then I talk to her because she's my mother. And our relationship is never ending, everlasting, I would say. But, anyways, so the meditation plus the spiritual laws that I have mastered so far, the combination of that is the biggest tool to get a lot of clarity, clear those subconscious emotions and your subconscious thoughts, and get healed from your past traumas, to get out of that limited belief system easily, but it requires a discipline. Let me tell you, what you are is what you're gonna get. This is Sunny, signing off. See you in the next video.